Welcome to the Global Center for Christ Consciousness. I'd like to welcome Ananda Das, our guest musician today.
Good morning. Good to be back with you all. How we doing? Amazing. So I thought I'd share a new song with you guys. Does that sound good? I'm just giving you little previews, snippets, because I'm coming out with a new album very soon. And so I want to just give you little snippets. And this is a mantra, so it's kirtan style, kind of more a sing-along. So just say it with me, Chit. Chit is consciousness, Chit. Ananda means bliss, Chit, Ananda. And then Rupa, say Rupa. Can be form or beauty, the beauty of the bliss consciousness, right? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham. Say Shivoham. That means I'm one with the supreme aspect of consciousness. Shivoham, Shivoham. Okay, so that's what we're going to chant together.
Still in the back of our minds, hearing the song, the praise, the gong, all symbolizing our dedication to stepping into that still beautiful place, the altar of God, found in our hearts, our heart center. At this place, Holy Spirit of God, at this place, Divine Mother, we place all that is unlike you, all that is our judgments, resentments, grievances, hurts, wounds, past thoughts, obsessions, addictions, all this silly human stuff we place on the altar of unconditional love. From this place you lift it to the heavens and disperse it into the nothingness that it is. It has no real power over us. It never did, but today we're committing to you demonstrating this to us. We give all of this to you. Our hearts then become emptied, ready to be filled. So we ask you, Divine Mother, to descend through our crown, pour down upon us that holy Shekinah power, activating in our hearts the awareness of your presence. We give such abundant thanks. Every note of music, every person near us is all purposeful. Even watching from around the world, somehow everything in this moment is given to God, made perfect, and perfect presence. Here and now, we call upon your teaching, your music to play through us, your insights to awaken our mind, and all else just to wash through gently, effortlessly. This is a holy moment, a holy encounter, a holy instant. This is a place of holiness, and so it is.
Please join me in reading our mission statement, which you can find on this card. Together we say, the Global Center for Christ Consciousness is a spiritual center for students and masters on the spiritual path. We are dedicated to awakening the inner Christ and to creating a world of love, peace, joy, and abundance. And now for our sacred reading.
From Peace Pilgrim. The spiritual life is the real life. All else is illusion and deception. Only those who are attached to God alone are truly free. Only those who live up to the highest light live in harmony. All who act upon their highest motivations become a power for good. It is not important that others be noticeably affected. Results should never be sought or desired. Know that every right thing you do, every good word you say, every positive thought you think has good effect. And so it is.
light. Oh Lord, lead me from the darkness to the light. Oh Lord, lead me from the darkness to the light. One last time, come on. Oh Lord, lead me from the darkness to the light.
Welcome, everyone. If you're a guest, my name is Michael Mirdad, and I serve here as part of the spiritual leadership. So I welcome you. And part of our process in Sunday morning sacred services is to ask folks what they're mostly dealing with, what they're looking for, looking to learn, looking to heal. What's foremost on your mind?
Christ consciousness.
Christ consciousness.
Abrupt endings. Surrender.
Integrating life's lessons.
Trust.
I knew you were going to say that. Premonitions.
And manifestation without doubt. It's trust. The power of prayer.
Okay, good. Hold on. What was that last one?
The power of prayer.
Okay, thank you. In the context of one of the comments, abrupt endings. Endings are challenging in the first place, abrupt or gradual. Usually if you have an abrupt ending, you're going to wish it were gradual. And when you have gradual endings, you would have wished it were abrupt. That's just typical human ego, you know. If only it would have been abrupt. I could have handled it better. Really? Bye. No, please make this go over a period of time. You know, and even the word premonitions, abrupt endings. Human beings are just addicted to being powerless. We're made in God's image. I mean, we can sing it. We're divine beings, we are love, we are holy. And yet, he left me. I didn't know it was coming. You're God. You are made in God's, you have all the power of God. How could you not know something was going to end? I wish I'd have known they were going to fire you. You did know, or they were going to fire me. You did know. For years you said you didn't like the place. Energetically, it was going to be closed. I mean, honestly, people talk about empowerment. You don't get empowerment without courage. You have to be courageous. Because for you to become empowered of the things that you want to create, you've got to own the things you miscreated. You can't go, I would be empowered if only I weren't the victim of everybody else around me. How are you going to find empowerment when you just said everybody has your power? It doesn't make any sense. There's a concept in the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. And, it sounds very literal. Don't look at things, oh, that lawnmower, man. I wish I had that. It's not really what it meant. God, I swear sometimes. It's a beautiful statement. It means you can't covet unless you're out of your mind. You can't covet. You are all that you need. You can't covet a person. You can't covet thy neighbor's wife. You can't covet thy neighbor's lawnmower or anything else. Instead of coveting and craving, we need to create and claim. I mean, just step up. But you can't do that's it. Michael's doing an empowerment talk today. Create and claim. You can't get there if you don't own your miscreations. What was I thinking? Instead of, they made me. It's like, wow. I mean, if we could just sit and laugh a little about it. I must have clearly been insane to have dated that person. But it isn't because they're so messed up. What were you thinking? Something in you went, that would be great. There's a great idea. I was in recovery for 20 years. Met an addict who's still active as an addict. I thought I would change him. Didn't you attend any of your meetings? They told you you're not going to be able to do that. Well, I thought this was different. That's in the book too. It's always going to be different, but it isn't. Anyway, premonition is a funny word because it implies you're able to see something ahead of time. You are what you're seeing ahead of time. When you realize that, how can you not see it ahead of time? See, it's like love itself. You are love. So it's not that shocking to know that you can share love with people. Premonitions sound like a skill that some people have, you know, right? A gift, but it isn't. We're all able to know everything, but you have to be courageous because you have to own, well, wait. If I'm going to own creating a new life, you're telling me I have to own the crazy family I came into. Because I was thinking, how do I get rid of bad people so I can create good people? But they're both me. Lessons I need to learn, the results of the lessons I learned. It's not bad people, good people. It's lessons I need to learn. Learned them, the gifts of new relations. Don't learn them, the same pattern. But why does this always happen? I mean, I always, marry my mother, marry my father, or whatever those kinds of stereotypes are. Apparently because you haven't yet healed it to completion. So, oh my God, one of you even also asked about surrendering. It takes all of these things you're asking about. It takes courage. It really does. Becoming spiritually awakened isn't just like, you happen to be the right mantra on the right Red Rock Mountain in Sedona. Because you can do that, but without courage, it's not going to work. By the time you reach the bottom of the mountain, somebody's going to irritate you. So what good did that do? All of the mantras, all of the songs, all of the prayers, all of the groups, the 12-step and conferences and so on, it's not just about spoiling ourselves. It's not, covet. I wish I had. As soon as you say, I wish I had that. Your coveting means to desire. So for me to covet and desire or crave something already by definition means I don't have it. So now, what am I going to do if I think I don't have it but desire it? I'm going to try to manipulate it into my life. If only, that's called addiction. I'm going to bring something in to make me feel better. Why don't you just start to get comfortable with who you are and become better? See, but that too takes courage. For me to become healthy and autonomous, I'm going to have to look at all the times I was codependent on anyone and everyone, not just partners, lovers. I mean, codependent on parents, and it takes courage. And we're going to be tempted to judge ourselves for those moments where we were codependent, or I was so spiritual, but then I realized I'm still coveting. I wanted a car. That's not a problem. When we get our mind clear, when we get our hearts aligned with spirit, those things will come more naturally and organically. It's when you don't know who you are, you're then going to manifest the lacking of something, and you're going to have to use more ego brain power to manifest them. Even those laws of manifestation can be ego, and usually are ego-based, because they involve I want what I want. Still ego. When we realize, Jesus didn't have to say, Moses didn't have to say at the sea, God, I hope this works. Could you imagine? 1 million Israelites walking through the desert. Everything's okay. Like, that wouldn't have been very cool. And Jesus, it wouldn't have been the way it happened for him to say, Lazarus, come forth, please. You know, like they're all watching. There's a knowing when you get awakened enough. There's a knowing. This is the way it's going to work. Practice it. Practice knowing confidently. How do I know what's God's will? We've been through that. God is in either decision you make, and so is the ego. My job is to ask, how can I remain as much at peace as possible with any decision? I wish I hadn't married them. How do I bring that to a place of peace, even if I divorce? How do I bring that to a place of peace? Or how do I bring myself to a state of mind that's peaceful while I'm with them? Instead of, I should have the other, but you didn't, start with this one. Bring peace to this one. And if you chose the other one, you're going to wonder what the other one was like anyway. How do I bring peace? That's our job, anchoring the presence of God. So it's interesting to me when it comes to romance and coveting. It's not just things. Like I need a car. God has never, ever, ever, ever said, I got to get a car. I mean, I was never needing one, but now that they started with, a Tesla or whatever, I didn't know that. Had I known that, I would have known to get a car in the beginning. So now God needs a car. God never ordered a car. God never ordered up food from any restaurant, nothing. God has nothing to do with material stuff. We're dysfunctional. We think, since we believe we lack our divinity, we compensate with material. The more I lack spiritual, the more I'm going to need material to make up for it. It's all compensatory. It really is. But the same is true, not just with stuff, but people. Romance. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Why would you? Why would you covet anybody? See, even if it's a love relationship. Okay, here's how this rolls, if you can bear with me. As soon as I look at you and think, man, I was doing pretty well, but this person's hot. So the coveting thing is dialing up, man. I was like, I'm peace, I'm one with all. Whoa! Covet, 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 covet. The Christ in me cannot perceive you as a body. If I look at you and think you're just a person, physical, emotional, intellectual person, I'm already out of my Christ self. Christ cannot look on a body. My divinity can only see divinity. So as soon as I see you and crave you, and especially if I tell you I love you, I'm lying to you. Because only Christ can love. If I'm seeing your body, I'm not in my Christ self. Therefore, I love you is not true. Because I can only love from my Christ self. And I can only love your Christ self. Christ doesn't say, well, we're going to just forego that and change the rules because we're now finding this person to be hot. It doesn't cancel the law. The law is spirit, matter is matter. As soon as I crave an object or a person and I see them as a material thing, I am in my material self. That's it. Which is incapable of love. I know that might be hard to hear. This thing, as soon as my soul leaves my body, it doesn't sit there and go, I love you. You're hot. It lays down. There's nothing happening. Your body is not capable of independent actions, decisions, and love. Why? Because it's just a glove that your soul is wearing. Take the body out, and the glove doesn't go, well, since they're gone, I think I'm going to go get some post toasties for breakfast, or whatever. The glove doesn't do anything. Your body doesn't do anything. When you think your body loves, it's craving. All the yogis throughout history have explained this. And we go, yeah, but those are yogis. They're not in the Western world to really understand what we deal with. Yes, it's one world. And they do get it. The reason they seem so far away is because you're so far away from their consciousness. Because they get it and you don't. So, the body, it's a hologram. The body's a hologram. So I can't, and if I say I am falling in love with you, who's I that's talking? I am made in God's image, and technically, really, I am one with the Spirit of God. To say that I love you from the Spirit of God has nothing to do with your body. Believe it or not, it doesn't even have anything to do with your soul. The soul that incarnates again and again into a body. Spirit is up here, soul is here, body is here. Spirit is God. It can only know love divine. It can't even love you for all the work you've done in all your lifetimes because that comes later. It isn't the absoluteness of God. It's one step down. Now, my soul is capable of not spiritual divine love, but soul level love. So, yeah, I could say I really love you, but this is unconditional. This is divine. Divine love is not unconditional love. I don't care what teachers tell you. Unconditional implies that there's a possibility of conditions. Spirit love is divine love, period. It's not unconditional. My heart is capable of unconditional love, which is as close to love as a human can get. I'm feeling it in here. But it's unconditional. You don't say, look at humans, man. I unconditionally love them. And then like a week later, that jerk, how dare them do this? And well, wait, I thought you unconditionally love them. I did, but they blew that. If it's unconditional, it can't change. It's unconditional means it is not in the realm of condition. Therefore, it has no condition. It can't change. It's free. Well, but humans. And I don't blame you because I understand. This is the best I can get. I feel unconditional love. And some people are like, I unconditionally love my animals. It's seemingly easier, Just don't feed them. And eventually you'll have them pushing your buttons just like your husband or wife or partner or children or parents or whatever. Just irritate the animal and you'll go, well, honey, I used to love you unconditionally, but what's with this barking and biting mommy when she's sleeping? You haven't fed me in a week. You look delicious now. So, sorry. I understand. Don't start sending, animal hate mail to me, animal lovers united, I'm just telling you that our perception of unconditional love is still tainted. It can still give and take. Divine love is divine love. Don't claim you love people divinely when you don't absolutely know your divine self yet. But you can get halfway there by saying, I'm learning to love at least on a soul level. And on a soul level, I'm working to be as unconditional as I can be. When I see that I've thrown in conditions, I probably need to own that, apologize if it's relevant, make amends if it's relevant, but at least in here make an adjustment. I'm working to love everyone unconditionally. Everyone. You can't say I'm going to pick a few people to love unconditionally, because that's conditional again. Just get that I get it, man. I'm just working to love everyone unconditionally. Well, yeah, but what do I do with that? I love you all unconditionally as I go to bed tonight again alone. Wow, I'm so glad that I'm cosmic, I get that. You're allowed to say, I'm working to love everyone unconditionally. But I'm choosing that one in my life. See, it's from a place of empowerment. I can love everyone equally, but select someone to be my child. I don't need to move your children into my house. Just start with what you got and work from where you're coming from. I'm going to love everyone, but there's a relationship here that I want to share. That's fine. Don't think I'm trying to everybody needs to get mystic and stop relations. I can promise you this. Human relationships are in the midst of change like has never happened on the planet. Before long, we talk about, let's ascend. You say you want ascension, but in a state of ascension, you actually don't have possessiveness and you don't have conditional love. So be careful what you pray for. I can't wait till we have fifth dimensional reality. Be careful, you won't have genitals. It's going to, later you're going to be like, well, what happened? I want something to tingle, Sorry. You get what I'm saying? Spiritual is spiritual, matter is matter. But laugh at it. Well, I've got these things, I'll play with them. But I'm aware that there's a point where I will not be in a body. And I'm okay with that. But what if I'm not okay? You won't reach that dimension while still caring. Don't worry. It's not like suddenly God says, ready? Boom. And there's nothing to play with. It won't happen as a victim. It's a consciousness you rise to. We're these carbon-based beings. We're about 20% carbon, right? Which they call the glue of life, like the second to oxygen. It's the second greatest chemical we have in our being. And a carbon atom has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. What numbers did I just say? 666, the mark of the beast. What's the mark of the beast? You thinking you're a material body. You think you're a material person. You've taken on the mark of the beast, 666, 6 carbon, atoms, 666, when you think of yourself as a limited, dense, material being. But when you look at someone and say, I really am attracted to their physical being, you're actually trying to give them the mark of the beast. You too are stuck with me in materiality. The freedom, as in the book of Revelation, for example, the freedom comes from, you know what, God? As far as I can see, they look like they're still there. But show me how you'd have me see them. God doesn't make you not see other people. God doesn't say, officer, they were not in the crosswalk when I drove through them. They're just a collection of atoms and they were not there. It's just an illusion. No, the thump under your tires, it told you something. So, it's not going to fly, right? So, God isn't going to say, well, now that you called on me, everybody disappears. When it says you'll see them different, it means you'll feel them differently. You won't project onto them density, limitation. Oh, she's getting older. Oh, look, they're overweight. Oh, look, you don't see issues. You just feel more and more love for people. You start to notice that the old attractions of, I'm a leg man, you kind of evolve past that. You do. You kind of, well, it's funny, I used to say that, or I have to have a beer before I can relax after work, got to have a beer first. Those are misperceptions. They're lies. You're not a body. A beer can't actually cause you to relax. But you can think it does, and then you drink the beer and you sit there and watch a game and go, this is the way I decompress. Trust me, there will be higher ways of decompressing. There will come a time when you just say, it's a funny thing, even scientifically. If I do a few centering breaths, I can get the same results, except without an addiction and without an altered brain. Right? It's a different reality. So the spiritual path is really stepping into higher realities. It doesn't negate this one because it knows this one doesn't even exist, but it knows that we believe it does. So we play along. As long as you identify with yourself as a dense human being, you're going to see dense human beings. And since this is a limited body, when I look at you from my limited self and I see your limited self, it can't fulfill me. So I'm going to need to covet, which is called crave, which is called addiction. I'm going to need to covet something else. I'm going to need to collect cars, not just buy one. I'm going to need to collect dates, not just date one. I'm going to need more and more because it never fills that cup. A lot of people would have a hard time really accepting this because people are so empty that they crave relationship. Have them, but try to have them from a higher place. If you're as dedicated to your relationship as you say you are, then, here's something. Every day you drink coffee, let's say. Well, why can't you at least dedicate that same amount of time, 5 minutes, to saying, help me to see my partner as you see them, God? I mean, why wouldn't you? If you can devote to it coffee every day, I got to have my espresso, whatever that stuff is. I don't know if that's coffee or something different, but it's something, right? It's at least in the ballpark, I guess. I never had it. But if you say, I don't get that. Like somebody says, I can't start my day without a coffee. To me, that's like, wow, strange, Like I can't understand that. I can't go, before I go up to talk, I got to make sure I have a supply of intravenous Starbucks in the back booth over here. I don't get that because I just feel alive. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to practice is, who are you? Without the coffee, you are capable of anything. Without my partner, I can't paint anymore. They were my inspiration. No, they were an addiction. How do I know? Because you're codependent. How do I know? Because you said you can't without them. I can't live if living is without you. What a weird song. What an absolute, and he's screaming, I can't live, like dramatic. They should have had, if I worked for the record label, I would have accidentally put as the artist, like super needy, or instead of the artist's name, like, I can't live if living is without you. All that means is, and when I die, I've got to come back and find you again. And if I don't, I've got to find 5 of you. It's all compensatory. It can be instead, I am alive. I mean, and I'm not just giving you philosophical stuff. This is reality. The carbon-based beings, the dense material beings, they're not even there. As dense as we seem, there's more space than there is density in a body. So why don't you love my spaciousness instead of the collection of matter? Because you're material. Matter sees matter. Give to God what's God's, give to the flesh what's flesh, Jesus said. So there you go. So I already see your dense self. I can reach out, touch your hand. Now we're having a physical relationship. But am I willing to say there's more? I know there's more. Even if it's just suspicion, say it. I really dig you. Wow, you look great. But you know what? I know there's more to you because there's more to me. Now this is getting surreal because it's, Thursday night. We're supposed to be making love at 5 o'clock every Thursday night. But right now I'm wasting a lot of time being all cosmic. Can we, let's disappear into the universe and gaze in each other's eyes and see past lives and blah, 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 all that. That's impractical to the average human being. Well, fine. I love you at the highest level, Jesus. And now can we get to it? Humans want what they want. But just practice. You can be in the act of making love and say, God, help me to see them as you see them. It doesn't mean you have to and sink into a complete cosmic thing unless you want to. You can be passionate, but present. There's no better way to be passionate than it coming from a place of such presence that you feel ignited. Like, oh my God. And, what are you going to do with that? A passion. Oh my God, you feel this? It's like we're feeling connected to love God. It's so exciting. You see? You bring that to even a physical act. Well, but Michael, you said the physical act is an illusion. That's true. But you can bring holiness to it. Or it to holiness. You can raise your perception of it or change your perception of it. Raising our perception of things of this world does not mean we get further invested in how real it is. You just start to realize how unreal it is, that you feel less investment, which actually is very exciting. It's not a downer. It's exciting. To be able to say, you know what? I used to cook food and be all obsessive about what went in the food because it's going to make me holy. But as I stand here, if I sit on the ground, the food isn't going to do anything. It's just going to sit there. I'm the dreamer of the dream. I'm going to infuse this food with my light. Not it's going to make me of greater light because it's got no MSGs or whatever. Or MGs. Cars. Anyway, so it can't do anything. You're the creator. So you look at that food and you say, oh my God, what if instead of, particles of preservatives, be cast ye out, thine devil of thine food, for I am a child of God. Now you've judged it. I mean, that's not helping. Look at it, and imagine what was dense, whether you thought they were nice particles or not nice particles. Look at them and imagine saying, Every particle here, I'm the perceiver. If the I am God here is now looking at the I am God here, be still and know the I am presence of God. These particles can start becoming ignited and excited to join you in your body. Whether it's the Native American tradition of prayer to bring the buffalo or animal meat into their body, or a vegan, it doesn't matter. I know you think it does, but it doesn't matter. The person that is the beholder is deciding, how can I make this as holy an experience as possible? And then you don't judge the tribes that hunted. You don't judge. It doesn't matter. It's the holiness that matters. I admire their taking time to pray and be so connected to the buffalo that the buffalo says, I'm going to lay my life down for you because I'm in such honor of you. And the saying, no person can show as much love as that, a friend that would lay their life down for you. It doesn't mean literally die, that's codependence, for a person. It means, how can I serve? And an animal and a plant can say, it's not, you're taking my life unless that's your mindset. You can screw up the relationship with that animal in your cruel mind. Or you can say, please forgive me. I think I'm a body still, and therefore I think I need certain nutrients. You are my brother, sister. I'm going to do this. Will you lay your life down to me? I remember a person that said they went hunting and they shot at some like elk or something a couple times and missed or hit the horns and it would ricochet off. And I swear this person, and I know this is true when they said this, they said, it looked up at me like, are you kidding? I'm standing still. It literally turned sideways. You know? How do you leave that with low, without low self-esteem? How do you take its life? Oh, I feel pretty silly, It's already caught on and it's not running. It's like, okay, let me walk you through this. Picture on the side of a barn and just shoot anywhere or in this vicinity. I end up telling people quite often, the whole concept of love, you don't tell someone you love them when it's the person that you think you love. If you want to talk love, get into your spiritual self, whether it's your spirit or your soul. At least get into your heart and soul and come from there, because only that can love. Soul level love, divine love. Human, there's no such thing because you're not a body. It's a hologram. If you talk to me from bodies, all you're saying is, as a hologram, non-existent, matter, carbon, I love you. I mean, that's not even arousing. Like, wow, oh, thank you, carbon-based being. No higher, sublime, spiritual, just like, it's just brick, Thick as a brick, as they say in Britain. They're as thick as a brick, they're just dense. That's not really, it just doesn't do it. But this world still relies on that. And there are still people that live at that level. I'm just telling you, this is going to change. It is changing, and dramatically so. You won't even find another generation from now people engaging in partnerships the way they do today. Love is going to become so totally, totally expansive that we're going to go through some withdrawals, because that's going to fade and we have to readjust to real love, soul level love. I love everyone, but I choose this person in my life. It's going to get to that. Ownership, certificates, all those kinds of things that used to control whether you're, a church can tell you, do you know you're going to hell? No. Why? I'm like 6 months old. What happened to me? What did I do? Did I not pee correctly? There's only so much I do on a given day. Oh, no, because you weren't baptized. Oh, well, I'll let my Uncle John, take me in baptism. No, it has to be with our church. And then you have to become a member of our church. And you have to swear to tithing and ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. It's about money, and it's so strange. Why wouldn't a church elder say, I refuse to let you to go to hell if that were even going to happen, which it isn't. I'm going to baptize you right now. No membership, no money, because I care about you as a soul. And that just in itself is a symbol of where things are going. True love and care for each other. I tell people, when they hit you with lines like, you and I are meant to be together. No, you're not. We have a positive karmic connection. No, we don't. We have a negative karmic connection. No, we don't. You complete me. No, I don't. I'm complete. Thanks. I'm good. You complete me. No, that's you with you. Or we've been together in past. I've never known you before. I've never seen you before. What they're trying to do is, quite on the psychological and spiritual level, what they're doing is, I'm empty. I need to make you what A Course in Miracles calls a special relationship. You and I have a special connection. No, we don't. You and I have known each other. No, we haven't. You owe me. No, I don't. Refuse to buy the labels, honestly. Because you can't go into a new age of understanding love and romance while buying into the old ones that someone owes somebody, or even if it's a positive karma. I know you don't know this, but we were in love in ancient Greece, and we need to do that again. Well, between Greece and now, I met some others. So sorry. It's heartbreaking for some to hear this, and it's infuriating. Why? Depending on how invested they are in their reality, which is special. Special means I need you to fulfill. I have an assignment for you. It starts off with, oh, I feel such a connection, karmic, da 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 da. And what they're really saying, I have such an emptiness, I have to latch onto you to complete me, or to have a special something. I want to know if you love me without the special something. That's what I want to know. Because if you don't, it's conditional. I want nothing to do with it. Yeah, but my psychic said, because I showed them a picture of you, which is called inappropriate. That's called black magic. You start bringing pictures of us to your psychic to say, how do I get them? It's black magic, and it's total insecurity. Who are you? Become autonomous. I feel so complete. I'm capable of loving everyone and choosing a partner. What kind of partner would I choose? One that would also like to know their own completeness. Then who needs each other? There is no need. It's a choice to share. Oh, that sounds kind of reasonable, doesn't it? Yes, unless you're dysfunctional. Then it sounds totally disturbing because I need all the specialness. You owe me, I owe you, or we're meant to be. I promise you, God and no being worth their, position as deities, none of them are out there going, heaven itself is going to collapse if the two of you don't get together. That doesn't exist. It's only in the mind of the beholder or perceiver. So it's challenging. You're a musician, you're a speaker, you're whatever you are in this world. People are going to find you and they're going to start assigning things to you. What looks like a very beautiful, met somebody and there's, wow, the eye contact and, it looks really nice. What you don't see are all these psychic tentacles that go shooting into the back of your head when they meet you, downloading. I need all the information, how I've known you so I can use it against you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, your weaknesses, your flaws, and how to guilt you and shame you and cut the ties. Can you do it from right there? Can you stand in love completely on your own? That's my intention. Can you handle that? Can we then share? Typically, so when you say premonitions and such, typically you know everything. Every day that you wake up, you already know what's going to happen. How do you know? Because you're the one that co-created it. I'm not blaming you for co-creating. Yeah, but today a loved one died. What do you mean? I created that? Co-created. You were part of it. You knew it would happen. That doesn't make you bad. It makes you all-knowing. I don't want to be all-knowing, which is why you're a victim. You've got to be willing to step up and say, no, my life from here on is going to change dramatically. I'm going to step up and start saying, even things that I didn't know were going to happen, I did know on some level. I didn't know my husband was going to cheat. On some level, you did. No, but they told me they never. I know. And I get it. I do. I get it. I know it's hard to own these pieces because hurt is involved. You want to, we think ignorance is an excuse from the law, but it isn't. You do know, and you don't want to know. You want to think you don't know. We are, God, so powerful. You were asking about the power of relationship. The power of relationship. You empower and infuse a relationship with power when you show up. Not as a victim. I'm here. When they start talking must and need and we're supposed to be, please stop that. Don't buy into those things. I enjoy being with you. Not I must. Not karmically we must. No, guys. If you live by that, then you're still living by the old school laws and you'll be punished by the old school laws. Step up and, oh my God, I feel free. Listen, I can give you a Valentine's card, and if I don't, you go into a depression. That's codependence. You know what's better than that? Is to be able to say to someone, make your own card. And you won't find this in Hallmark, but make your own card and say, there are 8 billion people on the planet. I can choose any one of them. I'm capable of loving anyone and everyone, and I choose that now. I choose you to be in my life. How is that not an amazing compliment? Instead of nobody exists but you. That's a lot of pressure. Oh my God, I love you, I kind of like you, but I'm the only one? What if I sneeze? Am I allowed to? I love everyone and choose you in my life. I think that's the greatest compliment you could share with somebody. But human beings in a state of lack don't know how to handle that. They want you to be special, and you're saying no. And it could be very frustrating. I've seen people get infuriated with that kind of a notion to say no. Oh, but Michael, you're in denial. I remember a guy came up to me after a talk once and said, are you feeling this? And I'm like, no. And they actually said, I'm feeling it and you don't? No, I'm here working. I'm teaching. I don't stand around going, row 11, fifth from the left. I'm working. I have other things I'm doing right now. So this person actually said, someday someone's going to hurt you the way you just did me. I don't even know your name. And I'm somehow responsible for your devastation. And you're cursing me to receive it back. Stop. This is your dysfunction. I didn't say that. I didn't, but, I was thinking it. No, I felt compassion. I felt sorry for them because it's like, wow, But this happens to you and you don't even know it. It does. Driving down the street, somebody sees you, at a grocery store, you don't know all of these things that people are projecting on you. I've had someone was pulling into a fast food place, and they stopped at the entrance. And I'm behind them, so I'm out in the street, which is dangerous potentially. But they stopped, and they were kind of thinking about, where am I going to park? No problem. So I just went around them to, get out of their way. Went around them, and I went into they actually came over and knocked on my window. And then they realized, you're Michael Mirdad. I said, yes. And you're supposedly loving. Because I drove around them. And I'm like, I'm just going to get a quesadilla. I'm just at Taco Bell, man. Just give me my cheese and tortilla. Was I there for a lecture? But how bizarre. But also, wow, what's this? What's that about? And that was partly a welcome into Sedona. Because there's all these ways you're supposed to be for the people, and I guess driving around them was not within their image of me. So you don't realize everybody is always watching you psychically. They're always, I swear, they're always subconsciously trying to figure out where you're going to slot into their reality. Oh, a man. I'm coming after you, and, I have opinions about men. Or, oh, blondes. You're slotting them all in, and this is true. The brain, which is run by the ego, never sees anything in the moment. The brain only runs on old programs. It's not capable, the ego brain is not capable of saying, who are they right in this present moment? What do you mean present moment? I need to have assignments. I need to have conclusions. The way the human brain works is on patterns and memory. So I have to slot all of you in or I start to get uncomfortable. That's literally the way vision works and the brain works. Slotting people into convenient spots. Because what if I meet somebody who's actually so loving, I don't understand it? There are people in your lives where you have shown unconditional love, and they're like, how do you do that? That you're so in illusion. Your head's in the clouds. You need, and they want you to be reactive like them. Whether it's politics or religion or whatever else, what they're saying is, I already have certain slots and you're not fitting. How dare you? So all they can do is vent on you to try to trigger you to get into a slot because they don't know who you are now. And the only way to know who you are now is to ask God to show you. And if that's not what they're doing, it's not going to happen. So they just slot you in. We know that this is the way vision and the brain works. It's absolutely the way it works. Patterns and programs, that's all. The present moment is like a miracle bubble. Timelessness and peace. When I say, how would you have me see them, God? Something shifts and I start to see you differently. I start to feel differently. You can feel a little uncomfortable because it's not familiar, but just say, this too shall pass. How would you have me see this person? And you might pull it off for an hour and then right back to the old. But just know that this is the way this works. Your vision literally, like when you're looking, this stage isn't here. I'm not here. This is just a theater and we're playing roles. But this stage isn't here. Your vision looks, and you don't realize this, but they know this is the way vision works. You're only seeing sections of this stage. Your brain is actually filling in the other sections as you look. You're not seeing a whole stage. You're seeing portions of it, and your brain's putting patchwork together so that you can see a whole stage. You know why? So you don't panic when you realize it's not here. But this is what we do with people. I've seen people meet me and scratch their head, proverbial head, trying to figure out, he can't really be like this. He can't really be whatever it is, nice or whatever it is. It's easy for people to slot people into rudeness, but I've seen people do this, and then they look for fault so that they can, oh, thank God, I can breathe easy now because, you're one of us. But you have this happening too. The nicer, more holy, spiritual, divine, loving, unconditional, and so on you become, the more confusing it'll be for the people in your life. So be prepared for that if you're not already seeing it. Be prepared because it's going to keep increasing. Bless you. I used to like you, but this sneeze, you're not what I thought you were. Okay, is that all making sense? I hope I addressed as many of these as possible. Even the abrupt ending. And you asked about Christ consciousness. This is Christ consciousness. It's the movement into total love. And it's not manipulated by you. You call on the divine to teach it to you. You call on the divine mother. It's her role to teach these things to you. How to love differently. How to love, truly love. It'll start from human love, which is false, because my body is not capable of loving your body. That means matter, and that's the Antichrist. 666. It's the fallen me trying to love it. Fallen me doesn't know how to love, and a body doesn't do anything independently, so I don't love you like I tell you I do. My soul, as I get in touch with it, starts to go, oh, this is that other kind of love. It's a feeling, not a desire. Oh, wow. And it gets confusing because I notice I feel like I love that tree and that animal and that group and that person. But it becomes confusing because I don't know which one to date. The tree, the animal, it becomes confusing because I'm familiar with it. This is love, and you're supposed to do something with it. No, that's the body talking. And you learn and you learn and you acclimate into a state of love. And then it keeps shifting. You still date, and you can, but you're coming from such a different place. I love to love you, baby. Love loves love. The God in me loves the God in you. The God in me cannot see your body. Okay? So it can't just be a body thing. We can include the body, but let's bring the body to a higher place of consciousness. You're not going to spiritualize it, make it holy per se. You're going to perceive it differently. Please take a few centering breaths. Setting everything aside. A few breaths. Let your breath be your commitment to just, you know what? What if any of this is true? Then it means I really have to get used to retiring my body. Retiring my insistence to think and see as a body. That's all that was said, really. That's not so bad. So I'm choosing to know all as God knows. I give to you, Divine Mother, Holy Spirit of God. I give to you all my understanding. Show me it's a joke to covet anything when I am everything. In this moment, teach me my true interdependence. Teach me and show me my wholeness and autonomy so that I may know it to a new level and bring that to others in holy relationships. that sound. Straight into a sense of deep peace and gratitude. Here in this moment, thousands of years of praise, union, singing, music, beings surrendering to the divine. All of that time of people doing this is right here and now. They're with us, us with them. You can hear it. You can hear it. It's in the ethers. Men, women, children singing throughout all time. Every generation, every color, every continent. Wind instruments, vocals, and so on. And there is no time. They're all here now. We give thanks, Divine Mother. We give thanks, Holy Spirit, that you're teaching us and guiding us to be more and more in a consistent state of your presence. And so it is. Thank you. Nice. Stretch out a little bit. We'll just take a moment and then we'll do our closing prayer. How's everyone feeling? Good. Still hear that song? Right? It's like, oh, yeah. It's the program of the mind. It's beautiful. In music, like relations, there's primal and nothing to it, so to speak. In other words, it's just more bass, and then there's sublime. Music that inspires you. It comforts you during challenges, but also inspires you and lifts you. Praise, man. Praise music, love. Music that conveys love, not the lack of it. All right? So thank you for your time today. We're going to take up our collection. Please just be as generous as you can be. We appreciate that. The donations that you put in the bags are your standard donations, but the baskets are for any extra donations, and those go towards special projects or people of lesser means. Okay? Please take your love offering, hold that to your heart. Feel the sense of prosperity and abundance. Whether you put $1 or $1 million in a basket, it's in your heart. Feel the sense of God's presence. That's what I want to be behind my giving, God's presence, so that it can multiply and bring greatness to people's lives. Together, please, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you. And remember, our beloved Ananda has a booth in the foyer, so you can ask information about his website, so on. You can also buy products. Do think about dropping extra donation. It doesn't matter if it's $1 and there's 200 people in the room, that supports these musicians. So just think about any extra donations you feel inspired to share with any of our musicians when they're here. What did you hear or learn today that made the most sense or that could make a difference in your life or the lives around you, people around you? Everything? Good.
Well, I put forward abrupt endings, and then someone said premonition. I'm like, that was perfect because
Premonitions, abrupt endings,
I
yeah.
knew that I spent about 4 years in solitude, doing a lot of inner work. Started coming here in January. I'm approaching every area of my life differently, including this relationship that entered my life.
Right.
And it was going very well, although there were some things I'm like, I'm checking in.
Right.
So I brought those things forward on this week, and it went from I want to spend the holidays with you to he doesn't want to pursue it anymore. And it was really interesting because when he told me that, the old me, like when I was more in my ego and unhealed place, I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, but why? Why can't we work on this? And don't you
yeah.
want to be with me? And he said that, and I just went, okay.
Right.
And he started crying.
Well,
and
so instead of the
it was
pattern of
interesting.
a guy breaks up with you, instead of the pattern of I'm unlovable, why is this happening? You've found more of a center to it quickly. Good job.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just thought I'd bring it up.
And just realize before you even come into this life, you know who you're going to meet. I mean, there's certain things that are laid out. So how abrupt is that, really? If you knew 50 years ago, it's not that sudden, is it? All right, who else? Yes? Someone over there? No. Yes?
When you were talking about coveting and
Coveting.
there was so much bringing us back into presence, and it was making me think about a moment yesterday when I was looking out the window and I thought, oh, maybe there'll be a cardinal or maybe there'll be a deer, and it was as if the trees were sort of, glimmering and say, what about us? It was just a lovely moment of not wanting more and actually
Right.
being really present with
Right.
what is there right now. And of course, you want to imagine the great in ourselves, our greatest selves, will be here with
Right.
ourselves
Beautiful.
now.
Even something like that, it's interesting. So she's talking about looking forward to seeing some piece of wildlife, outside when she woke up this morning. And then feeling as though the trees are saying, well, what about us? It's, to love what's there rather than have an expectation on what should be there. Just loving. Yeah, that's lack thinking and, just getting into a state of what is here before me. Who else had that? Yes.
Difference between divine love, soul level love, and human love, and the fact that the last one doesn't really count.
Well, you caught on to that, huh? Spiritual love, divine love, soul level love, beautiful, beautiful. Because it's getting to more the we, the real us, but not all the way, but yeah, and the human love. And the last sentence you said?
That it doesn't really count.
That doesn't even exist. So it's just a place of compensation. The reason you incarnate as the hand in the glove to animate the glove is because you're messed up. You haven't yet found your total holiness, so you're here to work on stuff. And that's the one you want to lead your life into relationships? I want my dysfunctional self that hasn't gotten over reincarnating to decide what to do. All you're going to do is mess up relationships and create more karma to have to come back more. I have to get to a higher me to be guided to a new level of relationship. From conditional, dysfunctional, codependent relationships to more soul level, interdependent, I'm fine. Would you like to spend some time? Yes. And it's beautiful. It doesn't have that grasping, as Buddha would put it. It doesn't have that grabbing, owning, desperation. Wow, it just, this place. But this is new. Other than for a few mystics, et cetera, in life, yogis, this is fairly new, so it's confusing. I really want to have unconditional love. Wait, what are you doing? Where are you going? What are you doing? And you go right back to the old way. But again, you don't see this stage. You see parts and your brain is filling in pieces. That means when you look at a person and go, I love you, you're seeing pieces of a person. You're not seeing them, and yet you're telling them you love. You dare to use a divine word called love and tell them you love them when in fact you're only seeing pieces. You're lying. Put that on a card. I decided to no longer love you in the deceptive way. I no longer want to lie to you about loving you. I want to know the real you and love you truly. And if they say, I don't like this, leave. If they say, that's intimidating and scary, but wow, let's go for it. That's a good relationship in a nutshell. Yes, Talene?
When you spoke about standing in our authenticity really takes courage and co-creating from that place.
It takes courage to stand in these places.
It's not just luck, despite in a world that wants us to see to believe
Right.
without seeing takes a lot of courage.
Yes. Well said. It takes a lot of courage to believe something even though you're not seeing it. For example, your spiritual God self, I cannot see. I'm fairly awakened and I can't see it. You know why? Because I have eyes. These eyes can't see it. I have to close my eyes and ask the divine eye to open to see you, and then that's not a vision, it's a feeling. These eyes are not capable of seeing holiness. If they were, they would disappear that same second. Then you would wish they were back. No, I need vision to... Stevie Wonder's album, Inner Visions. It's like seeing differently. Who else? Yes?
I just want to say thank you, Michael. The last 3 Sundays and Daughters of Heaven and your realness and just really speaking your truth,
Thank
making
you.
it funny, comical. That
Yeah.
the light, it's light, and we leave here light. Like I feel like my head is just exploding.
Wow, nice.
2.5 weeks here, just beauty.
Yeah.
Everybody in here, there's so much love.
Thank you. Thank you. She's complimenting the space here, the conference we just had, the Sundays, the sacred services, the music. In your life, I highly recommend, and I know you're doing this, everybody, probably a program like this, but in your life, it takes courage to turn your life into a light worker's life, a spiritual life. You can say it easily, but it takes courage, because it does mean there's going to be some collateral damage. Some people, some jobs are going to fall away, and you just are living like this. Well, the same goes for, we're on the path of this center. Somebody might say, I want to do a conference there. I'm going to give you $1 million to use your place to do the certain topic, A, B, and C. No, not for any money, any amount of money on the planet for us to sell ourselves out. And you know what they're going to do? I'm going to go elsewhere. And when they do, they're going to talk bad about us. We're jerks because we didn't let them use our place. It's not like we only want one speaker. No, we just want it to be consistent, God, love-based. Our rules are simple. It's just loving and inspiring. If you get too dark or you want to do human sacrifice, call us silly, call us judgmental, but checking, no. And they will get funky. So will the people in your life. When you say, this relationship is going to end now. This, children, if this is how you treat mom, you're not my children. Go do your thing. All they are is human beings. They're hands in a glove. And they're calling themselves your children, and you should enable all their behaviors. And you say, no, we're going to hate you for it. Not forever. The real them loves you for it. The ego in them is irritated. Which one do you want to comply to? To thine own spiritual self be true. And it is a strange thing. I mean, whatever your lot in life, this thing that people say, well, I come here and there's this vibe. That's right, because we do our best to stick to a theme. But we're all supposed to be doing that. And you will run into those moments where, well, I took Michael's advice and now I don't know anybody. So that's great, Michael. Thank you. Thank you for helping me co-create total aloneness and abandonment. Then don't do it. Don't. Go sell yourself out. Start in a bar and go from there. It's easy. But I'm telling you, when you're faithful to your real self, you will be rewarded for it. And if it seems to take too long, it's because you don't believe in it yet. You don't believe you're worthy of being rewarded for your goodness. So your ego will sabotage it and you'll say, I've been doing good and I'm not seeing it. Oh, that's you. You start to realize it and go, you know what? And watch videos of people that inspire and tell you, go for it. You will be supported for goodness. When you're not, it's a test. Don't let it turn you away. Do your best, guys. Everything. Choose a hairstylist that feels like this, a massage therapist that feels like this. Do your best. People need to earn the right to be in your presence because you're holy, but you also need to earn the right to be in theirs because they're holy. When you see this lack of holiness and this conflict, it's not somebody's good or bad, but it is a test, and you're supposed to come out of that feeling a sense of peace. But sometimes peace is high, and sometimes it's goodbye. It's just the way it goes. All right? Be faithful to yourself in all matters, friendships, addictions, family, in all matters. And you'll find, oh my God, I thought I needed to just make life work with all the usual suspects. I need to go vertical here and start assembling this life. Hey, all of you people horizontally, which ones fit into this vertical lifestyle? Never judge or hate them. Never judge or hate them, but just which ones are part of this journey? Know the truth, but respect the illusion and those who live in the illusion. It's okay. People are it's fear that makes them not yet go where you're going. All right? Remember that. It's fear. And the fear will take the form of agitation and stubbornness. They're going to act agitated by you or stubborn. And one last thing. You are, when you're waking up, you're aware that the ship is sinking. And you're suggesting to your family and loved ones and partners and so on, the ship's sinking, let's get in the life raft. They're going to sometimes say no. Why? Stubbornness. It's all fear. So are you, and you got to watch, because sometimes you're staying on the ship with them, complaining that they won't get in the life raft. Guys, listen, I know that you believe that you're the one with the voice to tell them we got to get the life. I know that you're not trusting that God could get him someone else. You forgot. You think you're all powerful like that? But I'm trying to explain to them. There's a point where you go, the life raft is going in 3, 2, before 1, 0, get in. While they're lowering it, you can still say, praying for you, but just get in and let it drop into the water. You know why you sometimes go, well, I didn't get in the life raft, because that's a victim and a rescuer, but underneath it, you're afraid that your own boat might sail into a new life. So you're using the familiar and you're using them as your excuse to stay in the familiar. Don't buy into it. Don't bargain, don't sell yourself out. Please stand for our closing. I want to remind you, there's one of the metaphysical stores, gift stores in Uptown or in Sedona that's looking for some part-time employees. You can talk to Jeff, our lead chaplain in the foyer. He can tell you a little bit more about that. And remember, the crystal bed sessions are available. We have our crystal bed with the crystal lights, the Vogel cut lights, and it's a very powerful experience there, and that's done in the healing room out here. If you're on social media with us, fantastic. Remember, we have a Zoom program Mondays from 11 till 1-ish or 2-ish, however long you stay signed on. But we have a group that, just chatting about whatever topics people are bringing up. But it's a Zoom program. To get in that, you have to get into the Circle of Friends. Is that the name of it? Friends of Michael Mirdad Facebook group. And then they'll tell you how to get into that program. Friends of Michael Mirdad. This Friday and Saturday, 13th and 14th, we'll have Bill Foss back. He's going to do a 2-day workshop on healing with the Akashic Records. We have flyers for that, and it's posted on our website, and it comes to you in the announcements on Sunday, or the weekly announcements, so read it there. Next Sunday, October 15th from 1 to 5, join 5 amazing psychics because it's once again Psychic Fair. Okay, it's the Sedona Psychic Fair. We host that here, and it's fantastic. We get the best readers we can, and you'll love it. But sign up, call ahead to sign up. All right, today is our monthly prayer circle. You're welcome to join us for that. Go online and you'll find out more about it. But all day for 12 hours, every hour we go into a state of conversation and prayer and inspiration. The first hour will be here in about an hour from now. But then every hour after that, there's a little chat, but it's mostly inspirational talk. And we do that once a month because it's another way of devoting life to oneness with God. All right. Centering into a state of gratitude. And our first expression, deepest right now, is for our beloved musician Ananda. For each other, for this presence, for this vibe. This isn't something that was made from the three-dimensional mind. This vibe we feel, the conference you just felt, this is a progression of devoting to being a child of God and remembering that and living accordingly. These are the fruits of living righteously. This center is amazing, but you created it. Say thank you to yourself because you are growing. You are getting somewhere, even if it doesn't feel like it. The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
We are the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
We are the power of God.
And the presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of God.
Wherever we go, God is, I am, we are, and so it is. Peace be with you all. Thank you.